All right, guys, thanks. About 5 minutes after 6 a.m. right now, the San Antonio Archbishop showing his full support for the newly elected Pope. There was plenty of joy and excitement around San Fernando Cathedral yesterday after the announcement of Pope Leo XIV.
That's right. News 4 San Antonio's Christina De Leon has more on that announcement and the reaction from the Archbishop. Good morning, Christina.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Archbishop Gustavo García-Siller saying in a shared quote, a new era has dawned and God is with us, saying he knows Pope Leo XIV personally. Speaking at a press conference, the Archbishop saying the two first met in 2003 in Chicago before reconnecting in 2012 at a gathering for bishops across the world. The Archbishop saying that the conclave's choice of an American Pope was surprising, but it will not affect Pope Leo XIV's leadership ability. He encourages Catholics across the world to get to know him. In fact, he says there is a special meaning behind the name Leo that was chosen by this new Pope, which should tell you everything about how he will lead the Catholic Church.
If he chose that name, he wants to be an instrument of a social justice values. But the one piece, part of social justice, that is very important, and he mentioned several times, is peace.
Peace. The Archbishop says he hopes Pope Leo XIV will pay a visit to San Antonio to meet the people here and hopefully pay a visit to the Catholic Church there too and just see what San Antonio has to offer as well. Reporting live in the Content Center, I'm Christina De Leon. Marissa, we will send it back to you.
Thank you, Christina. This morning, people are starting to take notice of Pope Leo XIV's tweets before he was named the Bishop of Rome. Back when he was Cardinal Robert Prevost, he posted a tweet criticizing Vice President J.D. Vance, linking an article titled, quote, J.D. Vance is wrong. Jesus doesn't ask us to rank our love for others. That's a reference to comments the vice president made this year. Other tweets ask followers to reject racism.
Meanwhile, President Trump appears to be pleased that he is from the United States. He did congratulate the new Pope on social media and then said this outside the White House.
To have the Pope from the United States of America, that's a great honor. That's a great honor. I'm watching and they said he's from America. I said, that's great.
President said he is looking forward to meeting with Pope Leo.
69-year-old Robert Prevost was born in Chicago, and that is where we find Alice Barr live with reaction to the history being made. Good morning, Alice.
We're about a half hour away now from the first morning mass here at Holy Name Cathedral in Chicago. And throughout the morning, services are set to celebrate this native son who now belongs to the whole world. This morning, a son of Chicago, known as the City of Big Shoulders, waking up with the weight of the world. Pope Leo XIV, now the first American Pope. Bells rang out in celebration at Chicago's Holy Name Cathedral.
It's a day of great excitement for Chicago, for the United States to have one of our own be elected as the Pope.
The 69-year-old, previously Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, was born in Chicago, raised in a suburb just south of the city, the youngest of three boys.
We've kind of known he was special, and we used to tease him about being Pope when he was 6 years old.
He earned his master's in divinity at the Catholic Theological Union in Chicago, where those who knew him are taking in the news with disbelief and joy.
He's very warm, very inclusive, very intelligent.
Pope Francis elevated his now successor to be a cardinal, and many are reading into Pope Leo's first words from the Vatican about building bridges and being open to the world, that he's likely to follow in Francis's footsteps, also sharing a connection to Latin America, having served for many years in Peru, multilingual and shaped by a global perspective.
Very excited, an American who's lived in Latin America. I never thought in my life I'd see an American Pope.
President Trump celebrating the news from the White House.
To have the Pope from the United States of America, that's a great honor.
As the new Pope, chosen by his cardinal brothers and claimed by the city that raised him, now prepares to lead the Catholic world. There's a really significant moment this morning when Pope Leo delivered his first Mass as Pope and spoke in English. That's something that people really never expected to hear from an American Pope, because there has been this long-held belief that because of America's dominance in so many areas around the world, that the cardinals would not want to invest that kind of spiritual authority in the United States as well. It's likely that Pope Leo's global perspective tempered that and landed him in this historic position. David and Marisa, back to you.
Alice Barr, live from Chicago. Alice, thank you. A paramedic with a fire department here in San Antonio was one of the thousands of people who saw the Pope's first official greeting in person. This was Gabrielle Estrada's second time in St. Peter's Square. She was there a few weeks ago for Easter Sunday and what was ultimately Pope Francis's final blessing. Estrada, who is a paramedic for the fire department here in San Antonio, extended her trip to Rome specifically for the conclave. It's a good call because now she can talk about her front row to history.
To be waiting in anticipation and then finally at the third smoke watch be able to see the white smoke, it was incredible. Not even just tens of thousands of other Catholics, but we met people from all different types of faith backgrounds just there because it is such a historical moment.
Gabrielle showed us the religious items that she had brought to have blessed as well, which is, she says, it's her way of sharing that experience with family and friends here back in San Antonio.
Now, we also spoke with the Sisters of Charity of the Incarnate Word. Their chapter includes sisters both here and in Peru, where Pope Leo spent a lot of time as a missionary. Sister Yolanda Tarango, the congressional leader, says she and the other sisters are very excited because he was appointed by Pope Francis, and they too are surprised he was selected as Pope so quickly.
The Pope is to be really a leader of peace and justice. And so I think it's a really important time that we would have a new leader and that it would be a leader like him that hopefully will inspire goodness and hope and peace in the world.
Sister Tarango says in addition to the Peru connection, she went to the Catholic Theological Union in Chicago at the same time as Pope Leo. He graduated a year before her. She says she didn't know him personally, but they undoubtedly crossed paths.